mandatory installation of CCTV. The idea that mandatory installation of security surveillance, including closed-circuit television, that is CCTV, in all short-stay rentals, lodgings, and commercial accommodation facilities is necessary to prevent violence against women and girls is not based on science, it's not based on data, and it's not based on any other empirical evidence. As such, even if such surveillance systems are put in place, they will have minimal impact on addressing or preventing violence against women and girls. Data on violence against women and girls in Kenya, including the data relied on by the TWG report itself, clearly show that the majority of these cases do not occur in short-stay rentals, lodgings, and commercial accommodation facilities. Rather, it occurs within domestic and familial settings, and its perpetrators are primarily intimate partners, close relatives, or family acquaintances. Additionally, violence against women and girls mostly happens behind closed doors and in other private spaces where it would be illegal to set up surveillance. For instance, in the few cases where men have meted out violence against women and girls in short-stay rentals and other similar commercial accommodations, such violence has happened inside an apartment rather than in the public or common areas where surveillance would be legal. In addition to being ineffective, this recommendation will alienate women and girls from Kenya's business community. Who bears the cost of CCTV installation? Is it the business, or will the government offer a subsidy? Businesses in Kenya are already struggling to make ends meet because of the country's punitive taxation regime and dysfunctional legal and regulatory systems. The obligation to then install and maintain CCTV is an additional financial and operational burden which will foster hostility towards women and girl patrons from the owners of such businesses. This mandatory CCTV recommendation creates extensive surveillance infrastructure with no privacy safeguards, violating every person's constitutional right to privacy. The Data Protection Act of 2019 requires data controllers to minimize collection, ensure security, and respect individual privacy. These requirements are unaddressed by the CCTV proposal. Which agency enforces compliance? What data protection protocols apply? How is footage used in investigations? Critically, these surveillance measures also enable mission creep. Systems installed for violence against women and girls prevention can and likely will be repurposed for political monitoring, tracking of activists, or commercial exploitation and blackmail, such as selling footage. Without robust data protection frameworks, this expansion of surveillance infrastructure guarantees that Kenyans' right to privacy will be violated in the name of security. This recommendation outsources the state's responsibility to protect Kenyans, placing it back on Kenyans themselves, which is a breach of social contract. It directly conflicts with the fight against government surveillance, which has been a key element of ongoing liberation movements in this country, including the Gen Z protests. Given that requiring mandatory installation of security surveillance is unlikely to prevent or address violence against women and girls, the recommendation will serve no other purpose other than infringing on citizen rights, as well as pitting Kenyans' ongoing wider liberation movement and political awakening against the women and girls of this country who are fighting for their right to be alive and free. The government of Kenya is using violence against women and girls as a pretext to sneak in policies that it could not otherwise propose without massive opposition. We reject this attempt to limit the rights and hard-won freedoms of Kenyans in our name. This is sinister because the women and girls of this country have been at the forefront of our ongoing liberation movement. We have modeled what a distributed, leaderless protest that puts people first and is based on a vision of Kenyan freedom looks like, and we wish to continue to champion our vision alongside our fellow Kenyans.